We are continuing to see some benefit from that weak jobs number that we got last week. We are sitting at 7.18 today in the Mortgage News Daily Survey. This is a 30-year conforming loan, the national average. Y'all keep in mind that Texas rates tend to be quite a bit cheaper than that. Our company is very aggressive, so for the vast majority of borrowers, you're going to see pricing that's better than that. So call me for specific examples. This is not intended to be a rate quote from me or from my company. This is a statement of where the national average is on a 30-year fixed rate loan. 7.18 today. We were 7.37 last week. We were 7.06 30 days ago. It's a little bit of a misnomer to say that rates are higher than they were a month ago, because we saw immediately after that report 4 weeks ago a huge pop in rates higher. That lasted about 5 days. But since then, over the last 3 weeks, we've seen fairly steady improvement better in rates. And that's good news as we go deeper or head towards summer, when we're all hoping to put more sales on the board. So in any event, rates are heading in the right direction, and they're not going to get a lot of direction from the market, y'all. They're not going to see much in the way of reporting remaining this week. We do get consumer price index on the 15th, so that'll be the next opportunity for the market to see some movement. And then the big one this month will be on the 31st, personal consumption expenditures. That is the Fed's most closely watched gauge on inflation. And again, that comes at the end of the month. So not a tremendous amount of news to move the market outside of CPI on the 15th. When we're in an environment like that, especially when we've seen significant improvement, I'm inclined to advise folks to lock their rate as soon as they have a contract on a house, because the upside risk, frankly, just outweighs the downside opportunity. There's just not going to be a lot to move the market. And then going into that CPI number, don't know that I would float going into an inflation read. We have been disappointed month after month on that number. Any improvement that we might see there might not be worth the risk between now and then. In any event, we're continuing to see weakness in the jobless front. Jobless claims are at 231,000 for this last week. The prior week, they were at 210,000. And y'all, we talked about that 210,000 weekly jobless claims number on a prior call a couple of weeks ago. The reason it's important that we've now moved off that number is we were stuck at that 210,000 jobless claims reading for week after week after week for months going back, to the extent that a number of people were looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics and wondering, are they just republishing the same data week after week? But seeing that move and seeing it move into more weakness was supporting bonds, and that's one of the reasons we saw today's improvement. Y'all, as we get deeper into the summer, one of the things that I am finding on the deals that I've got in my pipeline, we have a lot of borrowers that once they've discovered how much seller concessions might aid in their ability to close now, moved a transaction up significantly from where they thought they were going to have to wait and save, right? We have folks that they might look at an estimate from a lender on an FHA transaction, say a $300,000 deal. They see a number of north of $20,000 they might need to close between closing costs and down payment, and they look at their bank account and they say, there's just no way we can do that. But y'all, structuring a deal around a borrower's available cash to close is where it is so important for a lender to partner with their realtor partners, so that we can walk through literally every single blank on that purchase agreement and make sure that it's meeting a borrower's expectation and their available funds. I've got a borrower that was probably looking at a year or more to wait and save if they didn't get a seller concession. They asked for an approval saying, hey, well, give us an approval based on the available cash that we have, and we will find a seller, if our realtor is willing, that's willing to do those concessions for us. Well, they looked for a week, y'all, just a week. They found a house, roughly $300,000 price point, seller's paying $12,000 of their closing costs, and they're moving in literally with just their down payment. And they're able to do that right now. So that's the kind of partnership that is so important between a lender and a realtor to move the needle. These folks are getting a chance to buy into a market that's a little bit softer than it was this time last year, and especially softer than it was 2 years ago. They're able to do it now. They're going to enjoy some nice appreciation over that year that it would have otherwise taken them to save. So that is something that I offer to every partner that I have, everyone that is thinking about diving into the marketplace and worried about how much cash they have. It's never too early to have that conversation. Let's start strategizing around it now. And let's write offers based on what you have in the bank. you might be surprised at how quickly you can get one bought. So hope this is helpful for you and for your clients. A little bit long today. Stay blessed, stay safe. We will talk to you next week.